Welcome to the 50-foot HDMI cable test, testing some of the most popular HDMI cables available today. At minimum, these cables must be capable of 4K resolution, Chroma 444, or 8 and HDR high dynamic range. I'll be testing with the Sony UBP X700 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player, an Xbox One X console, and a Sony PlayStation 4 Pro. A total of 9 HDMI cables will be tested, all 50 foot, all going through the same tests. With that, here are the cables. The first cable, Amazon Basics CL3 rated high-speed HDMI cable. Second cable, Direct Access Tech. Third cable will be iBirdie 4K Ultra HD HDMI cable. The fourth is BlueRigger 4K HDMI cable. The fifth is Cable Matters HDMI cable with Redmere. The sixth, Mediabridge HDMI cable. The seventh cable, Fusion 4K, high-speed 4K active HDMI cable. The eighth cable, Rocketfish HDMI cable. And the final, the ninth cable, Twisted Vanes, comes in a 2-pack HDMI cable. So why did I do this? When setting up my home theater, I needed a long HDMI cable run. I went through some frustrating times when I realized that the cable I bought just didn't work with my components on the max settings. So I decided to buy all the top cables I could find on Amazon and test them with all the components I'm using. I turned on all the max settings on the Xbox One X, the PS4 Pro, and the Blu-ray player. This included forced 2160p 4K, HDR HDR10, and Chroma 444 subsampling. I'm glad I did this test because the results were really surprising. I decided to make this video showing off my tests because it took me a long time, and I really hope this saves someone else the headaches that I've went through. If you just want to skip to the end of this video and all the tests, feel free. One cable was better than the others, and it's all the way at the end in a spreadsheet. All right, we'll be starting our testing out with the Sony UBP X700 4K Blu-ray player. Because of the high amount of failing cables in this test, I wanted to briefly show what a passing test looked like. Notice the menu of the Blu-ray player shows up. All right, here we have the Amazon's Basics high-speed 4K HDMI cable with Redmere. You can see we have the display of the output from the TV actually showing in the bottom right. As you can see, it's actually looking for the signal right now. Waiting for, oh, there we go. We have a fail. The first cable failed with the Blu-ray player. The next test, the next cable up, Direct Access Tech HDMI cable with a signal booster. All right, let's go ahead and plug that in. You can see it lights up. And we're waiting for the result. Another fail. This cable failed as well. Third cable up, iBirdie 4K Ultra HD 50-foot cable. All right. Oh, sorry for the background you can see there. This one's thinking a little bit longer. It's looking good. Another fail. All right, the iBirdie was looking good for a second, but it did fail. The next cable up is the BlueRigger in-wall high-speed HDMI cable. This cable failed as well. Next cable up, Cable Matters HDMI cable with Redmere. See how this one does. This cable failed as well. Next cable up, Mediabridge HDMI cable, 50 feet. This cable failed as well. Next cable up, Fusion 4K, high-speed 4K professional series, active HDMI cable with TMDS. Oh, this is a pass. Our first pass cable, 50 foot. Great. Next up, Rocketfish 4K Ultra HD HDR 50-foot cable. Eh, Passed. Two in a row. Two in a row have passed. Rocketfish has passed. Twisted Veins HDMI cable, 50 feet. This one came in a 2-pack, so we only tested one though. That is a fail. Twisted Veins has failed. Blu-ray player results. Fusion 4K passes, Rocketfish passes. Everything else is a fail. Next up is the Xbox One X console. I'll be showing you what a successful past test looks like. This TV does not support all features of the Xbox One X. The only thing it does not support is the Dolby Vision. Everything else should be green. Starting with the Amazon Basics 4K HDMI cable with our Xbox One X. Again, the results are in the bottom right-hand corner. It's a fail. The Amazon Basics cable has failed this test as well. Moving on to Direct Access Tech. Direct Access Tech with the signal booster has also failed. Moving on to iBirdie 4K Ultra HDMI cable, running through the Xbox test. iBirdie has failed. BlueRigger HDMI cable, time for its Xbox One X test. BlueRigger has failed. Cable Matters HDMI cable with Redmere. Cable Matters has failed. Mediabridge. Mediabridge with the Xbox One X. Mediabridge has failed. Fusion 4K Professional Series. It's looking like a pass. Yes, everything has passed except what the TV doesn't support. Rocketfish. Rocketfish 4K. Rocketfish is looking. Rocketfish is blinking. That will be a fail. Twisted Veins. Twisted Veins with the Xbox One X. All settings turned on. And that's a fail. Xbox One X console results. Fusion 4K pass. Everything else fail. Next, the PlayStation 4 PS4 Pro. Showing the optimal PS4 video output settings with everything on high, and showing what a successful test should look like if passed. First cable up, Amazon Basics, high speed 4K, HDMI cable with Redmere. All right, let's get this thing plugged in. Nice and snug. Huh. All right. Let's go into our settings here. It's not doing anything. Switching on and off the HDMI port, see if that can cause it to kick in. No, there's just no signal. All right, Amazon Basics is a fail. Moving on to direct access tech. The HDMI cable with a built-in signal booster and a cool little red light on it. All right, something's happening. Red light's blinking. It's looking great. It has failed. Moving on to iBirdie 4K Ultra HD HDMI cable. Let's see what iBirdie has for us today. iBirdie is thinking. iBirdie has failed. BlueRigger. BlueRigger high-speed HDMI cable. BlueRigger is thinking. BlueRigger has failed. Cable Matters. Cable Matters HDMI cable with Redmere. Active HDMI cable. Okay. Cable Matters is thinking. Cable Matters has failed. Mediabridge. Mediabridge HDMI cable. Nothing. Interesting. Nothing. Mediabridge has failed. Fusion 4K, high speed 4K professional series, active TMDS. See if we can get that in there. All right. Fusion 4K is thinking. That is a pass. Fusion 4K has passed. Rocketfish. Rocketfish 4K Ultra HD HDR HDMI cable. All right, Rocketfish is thinking and looking good. Rocketfish has passed. It appears to be blink. I think it's dropping out. Rocketfish is actually, I'm going to give that a fail. I saw the full screen is actually blinked and went black. It has done it again. Yes, confirmed fail. It's definitely not maintaining a signal. Would not be able to watch or play a game with that. Okay. Twisted Veins. Twisted Veins, the cable that came with one free 2-pack. We are only testing one of the two cables. We just chose the first one out of the bag. All right. Nothing. Similar to the Amazon Basics cable. Just nothing. PlayStation 4, PS4 Pro test results. Fusion 4K pass, every other cable failed. The conclusion of these tests, only one cable passed every single one of these components. I wasn't surprised because I had a lot of problems with a lot of cables. That's why I put together this test. I hope this helps other people when determining a cable that they need for a long run and that they're really going to run vigorous content on and use the highest abilities of their components. This took me a lot of time. And like I said, I hope someone else can take advantage of this information